Toastmasters for over a year? Put your hands up if you're proud about it. Excellent. And how many of you have been with Toastmasters for over 2 years? All right. How many of you feel that Toastmasters has really benefited you in any way? And be honest to yourself. Okay. Now, we pride ourselves as an organization which improves your communication skills, which improves your leadership skills. But honestly, each and every one of us know that Toastmasters is way more than that. Way more than just an organization which makes you a better communicator and better leader. And hence, this panel discussion comes into relevance. Let's hear from each of our panelists as to why they believe Toastmasters for sure benefited them, and more importantly, benefits each and every one of us. Rajiv, let's start with you.
Okay, so I joined Toastmaster almost 4 years ago, and I didn't have any idea about Toastmaster then. But Toastmaster helped me to improve 3 things. The first one is communication. We all are here to improve our communication, but I'm not talking about a communication on stage. I'm talking about communication between 2 people. You know, when you want to communicate your idea to someone, and it is very difficult. So Toastmaster really helped me to formalize my words, to tell what I really wanted to say. Instead of beating out the bush, I'm just talking what I wanted to say. The second thing that really helped me to crack my interviews. When I want to go somewhere, if I want to sell myself, it's really difficult to tell about yourself. The first question that HR asks you is to tell me about something about yourself, and you don't know what to tell. But as a Toastmaster, I spoke really about myself for so long period, so I can speak about myself. And the third and most important thing is giving someone feedback. Now, we can give feedback to anyone, but Toastmaster is the one platform where I learn how to give feedback yet motivate the person. So we follow the CRC approach for the guest. It's comment, then we recommend, and then we again comment upon it. I use the same method whenever I want to give the feedback to the senior most person. Because the junior, you can give the feedback, they will definitely accept it. For senior, it's very difficult to give those feedback. So when you comment upon their achievements, then give recommendation to that person, and then again comment upon their achievements, definitely help them, and definitely they help to improve. So, and one thing I found in Toastmaster that there is no senior-junior approach here. So I can give feedback to Prasad, and Prasad will happily take that feedback, and vice versa. So one of the Toastmaster, I give feedback to one of the Toastmaster that he's monotonous while he's speaking. He's not humorous speaker, and he improved upon that feedback. He's a senior member. He improved upon that feedback. He turned out to be the humorous speaker after 1 year, and that really inspired me. So Toastmaster can help you at anywhere. It really helped. I really helped from Toastmaster.
So for Rajiv, it's 3 points. It's about having better communication. It's about getting better jobs. And it's about giving good feedback, about being able to critically analyze something. Perfect. Ravi, what about for you?
I think it's helped me in a lot of ways. I mean, let me be honest that I joined Toastmasters to make friends. The fundamental reason why I came, and trust me, I have a lot of friends today in Pune thanks to Toastmasters. A lot of them are sitting in this room today itself. But if I were to pinpoint specific instances that I've actually gained from the experience over the last 2 years, I think it will be threefold. When I started off as a speaker, I personally feel there were far too many ahs and ums that I used to use. And I felt that it was okay. After a point of time, I realized that it was actually not. And that is one of the key areas which Toastmasters has helped me. Second is verbosity. And this is a problem with many speakers who speak a lot. There's a tendency to speak on and on and on without really making any good sense as to what you're saying. So cutting down on verbosity was another key aspect that Toastmasters taught me. And why was it? Because every speech is timed. If you do not meet the time limit, you're disqualified. Which meant that I could not go on and on as I used to go on in my lectures. I had to cut down on the amount of time that's being spent. So verbosity was the second thing that got cut off immediately. Third thing where Toastmasters helped me was the timing of my speeches. I thought that I was a bullet train when I started off. I used to rattle at really jet fast speeds. And this is something which I got as a feedback from a lot of senior Toastmasters right at the beginning, that why don't you just breathe? Slow down a little bit, and maybe things can just work out fine for you. And I tried to do that, and I think that has really helped me. So that's another area which Toastmasters has helped me. Last but not the least, when I started off, it was more like motivational speeches were my forte and things were pretty good. I won't say that I'm reasonably good at humor even today. My wife says that I still suck at it. But having said that, I think I've improved on the humor part of my speeches over the last 4 years. This is from the communication aspect of things. This is where Toastmasters has helped me from a communication side. Now bringing on the leadership role. Now I have worked on leadership roles with separate organizations, and trust me, getting work done in an organization is not that difficult. Frankly speaking, you have a boss, you have a group of juniors who are working under you. There's a pay structure. If they don't work, there is something that you can do. You can complain to someone, interfere with their performance management system, something you can do to just keep things in track. But what do you do as a leader in a social forum where there is no one or no way for you to control the XCOM or the group itself? The only way you can make them work is they feel like doing that work. That's the only way it can work. So teamwork becomes very important. Your role as a leader becomes important because you need to take the group forward and you cannot stand alone as an individual. Now, those are the things which I think only a Toastmasters can teach you, because any other company or an organization, you have a pay structure, things get taken care of. How do you get work done from people in a forum where it's absolutely social? And that is something which Toastmasters teaches you, because what people see is everyone helping everyone. And when you see that kind of a connection, it automatically motivates people to work towards a common cause, which may be the club, which may be the area, which may be the district, all together rising up. And these are the two pillars that I've learned from Toastmasters from a communication and from a leadership perspective. Thank you.
Excellent. So,
So to tell about how I joined Toastmasters, around 7-8 years ago, I used to have a colleague by the name Chinto. And he used to attend Toastmasters meeting, and every time he tells me that today evening I want to go early because I want to attend a meeting. I asked him what is the meeting you are attending and why you are going early every week. Then he told me, Nagappan, that I can't explain, you should come and experience. I could not do that at that point of time, but when I shifted to Pune, so I got the time and maybe that was the right opportunity for me. So then I approached Toastmaster Club of Pune. So at that time they used to have a meeting in the Symbiosis Law College. So there I attended the first meeting. So then I think I started getting into the Toastmaster. So to come up with the benefits of Toastmaster, which I have experienced, I joined as a faculty member where I started teaching about computer programming. So that way I was used to conducting classes and doing it. So that many of the people I have seen that whenever I refer Toastmasters to them, so they used to tell me that I speak to the customers every day in and day out, and I used to give a presentations in my office, so I don't need Toastmasters. So it is not just because if we can speak to the customers and we are giving a presentation, we don't need Toastmasters. Even if you take the school-going kids, if you ask them that they may have some 4 or 5 teachers, they may like the one specific teacher's class. They will say, I like the maths teacher's class and I don't like other subjects. So we look at that what the teacher is doing. So that is something like, if you come to know that from the Toastmasters point of view, the teachers might have done some audience analysis, like what the kids like that. And also there was a structure which they have given to the classes, whatever the opening body conclusion and also introducing humor in between. So all these aspects they have done that. So even though we do presentations in office, but after joining Toastmasters, I came to know about all these things, like even when I make a speech or when I give a report to the customer, so how I should open it up and how I should explain and how I should control it and what the customer is expecting and how I should make it to the point. So all these aspects of Toastmasters which helps us to make a better communicator. The second one which I always benefited more from Toastmasters is about R counter. All the roles in Toastmasters have some specific meaning. Once upon a time I used to make some 60, 70 shows and sometimes the R counter stopped counting. I always suggest people who make so many shows or other R counter things, I ask them to do that role. Once if you start doing the role of R counter, then you will come to know that why the person is making so many mistakes or whatever these filler words. If you start seeing that the actual reason is when we come unprepared, when we are making a speech without a proper thinking or the thought flow, so there we start using the filler words to show a connection to that. So this type of thing helps us. And even in office also, when you make a presentation, if you are going to use, I've seen some people using I mean very often, I mean at every sentence. All these are filler words. All this can be avoided by doing these codes when you start doing it in Toastmasters. And the next one is about the table topics, which I always touch it upon. We make presentations to the customer saying that we have some service. I explain about 10 slides and wonderful presentation for half an hour. So at the end of the presentation, I have explained about the concept A which we are going to offer to the customer. But customer will say, no, we want concept B. So there the table topics helps. We have to link it to the what I explained as concept A will help you to achieve concept B. So that is what this skill comes if you start attempting more and more table topics. So all these roles of Toastmasters I have seen practically, which helps us to brush up on our skills. We may be having all the fundamental skills which we are doing it, but once if we attend the meeting, I think at each meeting by meeting our skills improve, and so I think we will gain more experience and more the meeting we attend. So whatever we give back, even in the evaluation also, whatever we give back, it comes to us. So when we give some feedback to others, so we also get something out of that. The more the feedback you give to others, the evaluation skills or your way of how to look at the point also improves that. So this is what my few experiences of Toastmasters.
Excellent. So for Nagappan, it's about rediscovering and improving yourselves. Can we have a huge round of applause for in the interest of time, I'll take 2 questions right now before we move to the next part of the discussion. I'll request those who are asking the questions to keep it very simple, 1 line at most, the response 2 lines at most. The first question.
And let it be a question and not a comment.
Absolutely. Thank you, Prasad. First question, anyone? I overspoke you? 1.5 lines. First question. Wow. Seriously, no questions? Abhinay, why don't you go ahead with the first question? Tushar?
So,
Tushar, first mention for which speaker it's involved in, or if it's for all 3, leave it open.
so it's for Ravi Kumar specifically. Once we achieve the certain level of communication, then why we want to continue the Toastmasters? Because we have achieved what exactly we wanted. Then what's the exact motivation or what the learning skills you are looking in the Toastmasters to continue the journey after certain level?
2 sentences?
2 sentences.
See, the thing is that I've seen a dip after people complete Competent Communicator. There's a general dip and before the second manual starts subsequently. The key there is to talk to someone senior within Toastmasters and identify which are still your weaknesses in that area. And trust me, I can say this, that the world champion of public speaking of Toastmasters is not the best speaker in the world. Even he has areas where he can actually improve, and maybe he got lucky on that day. So bottom line is, there is no end to improvement. Even the best is not the best. There is still a pinnacle to reach.
Thanks, Ravi. Next question. We have a lot of people dressed in traditional attire today. So maybe someone who's dressed in traditional can ask the next question. Guys, come on, else I'm just going to handpick. That's not traditional, but you know what, it's okay. I sympathize with you for the earlier part, so go ahead.
What is the best way to convince somebody to join Toastmasters? I mean, I know that it's going to benefit him, but he doesn't think it's beneficial to him. So what is the best way to ask somebody to join Toastmasters?
Intended to someone specific?
All 3.
One person.
So the best way to convince the person is bring him for a meeting. Whatever you explain to him, he will think that you are trying to do some sale. I've seen some people also asking me, do you get any benefit in more than you are a friend? Do you have to write your name? But it's not for my benefit, but if you come and attend. So I always tell people, I don't sell any specific class. Actually, when I tell them, I sell the concept of Toastmasters to them. So I also bring some members who may not join Toastmasters, but still I ask them to come here and experience it, which they can take back and they can even tell to others. So it's very difficult to go and explain to people that these are the benefits you can get, unless if they come and experience it, they can't do that. I always ask people to also watch these videos of Toastmasters, whatever the club meetings are there. So which helps to some extent, but unless if they come here and experience, they can't get that localized experience. Otherwise, people expect that something like a US type of meeting, whatever the sample videos are there. But I always ask them to come here and experience.
All right, thank you, Nagappan. Back to the panelists. All of us have had amazing journeys with Toastmasters. All of us remember Toastmasters for different set of reasons. I want each of you to share with me a short experience of why you feel Toastmasters has changed you as an individual. A short personal experience. Rajiv, with you.
So like I said, I was a very shy person. I wasn't able to communicate with anyone. I wasn't able to say anything to anyone. But now, like Ravi said, I also have many friends in Toastmasters. I know how to make friends. You know, before I used to be a very conservative person. I used to talk with a certain group of people, but now I can talk with anyone. That one thing really helped me in Toastmasters to make new friends.
Perfect. Thanks, Rajiv. Ravi.
I have far too many experiences in Toastmasters to single out something. But if I were to single out, I think it'll have to be the conferences. Because conferences with the kind of speakers that came, the speech contest that you saw, with the kind of people participating there, it kind of gave you goosebumps and made you feel like, wow, why can't I speak like that? And that is something which really motivated me and something that I look forward to every time, contests and this conference season.
Excellent. Thank you, Ravi. Nagappan.
But for the motivation aspect, whatever the speech we give, we get a lot of applause and also we get some good feedback. So every time, even if you see our feedback system also commendation, recommendation and commendation. So that means we get double the comments than the recommendation. Maybe the advanced club may be a little different. So that way I think we get motivated, even though whatever the speech we give, we get motivated and we want to come again and give a speech. So that is a good aspect.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Nagappan. All of us have benefited in different ways from Toastmasters. Some experiences are extremely personal. Some are more common to what the three folks spoke about. But either ways, the point that I want to leave you with is that even though we agree that yes, Toastmasters has helped us, do we also take this opportunity to pledge that we will bring the same experience to somebody else? It's not just about us benefiting from the organization, it's about how we're able to share this amazing experience, as Nagappan said, with others. So I'd like to leave you with that message. If you have not taken the word of Toastmasters to somebody else, take a decision today to evangelize and share this good message with others. Thank you so much, everyone. A huge round of applause.